Good. So I'm Jeff Meyer with Stagecraft Industries. I'm an installer rigger, and then we also have to do training. So if you have any critiques later on, you can let me know at the end. The three things I'm going to be going over today. The first thing is the stage extension. The second thing is going to be the orchestra shell and how to set that up. Really simple. And then any rigging questions you have. And there is one noisy set. Who is my main theatrical rigger? That's going to, you two? So I would like to get both of you upstairs today so we can talk about how the cables can get stuck on things and how to fix it. They don't actually get stuck, they just need to be moved around. But if someone goes up there and starts walking around, cables can get moved and get stuck under a bolt, and then you just need to push it out and get it out of there. But you'll hear the noise, and one of the legs has a noise which is probably stuck on a bolt or something. So you just got to go up there and move the cables around and make sure that they're all free. For the most part, that doesn't happen too often unless there's unless one of the battens, as it's coming down, gets on top of something and lifts up, and then it slacks the cable upstairs and causes it to droop and hooks on something. That's how that happens. So, and it happens a lot. It happens. You could do a lot of different things to make that happen. Even the motors moving and they bounce, that could cause a cable to bounce upstairs. So, but we'll get into that afterwards. As far as the stage extension goes, does everyone want to? I was planning on setting up 3 pieces here with 2 frames on the bottom. Do you want to do that, or do you want to talk about that? Do you want to see it happen?
I think we should do it. I think we've kind of talked about the fact that it's just we're not gonna do it all the way.
I'm doing this corner right here because that's where you want to start.
Yeah. The curved corner.
This bump out right here.
Yeah.
This is the most important part on both sides, and you can work to the middle and then go over there and start on that side to the corner, and it will all go together. And pretty much if you start here and you work that way and then you work this way all the way across, everything will come out right. And I'll show you what, because once you put the platforms in, they actually have locks that lock them together. So the whole piece ends up being one piece, the way it locks together. They're called coffin locks, and it really does not move afterwards. The bottom piece has screw pins to keep it from coming off of the legs, and that's more for seismic earthquake. And there's also pieces of or bolts with capture devices that capture the legs so it can't bounce away from the stage, and that's mostly for earthquake. This thing weighs, each platform, the bigger platforms weigh about 200 pounds. So when there's 19 pieces, so that's a lot of weight. They're not all 200 pounds by any means, but it's quite a bit of weight. So the thing's not going to move. And the only possible scenario that it could move in would be a bouncy earthquake, which I've never felt one here in Portland, but I grew up in California. It seems like the earthquake shakes more down there. The orchestra shell is pretty simple. This one doesn't have a cart. You could roll all of them around multiple times. We'll go over that more once we get there. So let's head up onto the stage and start pulling things out. So the curtains that are set up here, the curtains that are set up is just kind of an idea of what it looks like when everything's down. And then if anyone wants to go over the curtains that are, this is how it would normally be during a show, unless you changed it. This is the default setting, or how we expect to put it up. I set limits or trims. So when you push the button and go down, it stops right where it is. So I did it for the electrics, which you can go in and change. And if you want to go over trim settings in the computer, I can show you that. I just learned yesterday. So,
I think we're okay right now. If we need to do that, which at some point we will. Right.
Well, just using the computer is what I'm talking about. How to set the trims and how to delete the trims if you want to change them.
Yesterday.
We do that, and I think once or twice through the keyboard, I'll probably figure it out.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But, okay. Let me get rid of this one, and then we'll pull those carts out. Oh, it's on the fire curtain. Yeah, I won't. Oh, yeah, it might.
There you go.
That's gonna be a problem. Those things are annoying. This is only the second stage I've ever seen those, and that was spec'd by the theatrical consultant.
I've never seen those.
Like the curtain. The
The fire curtain.
Well, you know, what they used to be, I remember back in the day, they were special. Oh, yes, yes. And you have the, yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
So you had something similar before?
Asbestos ones back in the old days.
Oh, you're talking in the front of the whole thing, or the same location?
Yeah.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But those went away a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Like 20 years ago, I think they knew and they took those down.
Yeah.
Well, these are fiberglass with metal woven into them.
Is there a fire curtain that comes down?
Not on this stage. Fire curtains are based on the fire marshal in the county, and apparently you didn't need one. So the way this theater is built, and then see that piece of big square steel up there?
Yeah.
It would be really hard to put a fire curtain in here anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
just because of the way the structure is built and the way they did the retrofit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right behind you. Excuse me. I'm gonna go right in that spot there.
Either way, it was a great.
All the cardboard in between here is just to try to help it so it doesn't get scratched. And it's just regular paint.
Same paint as the floor, right?
Yeah, it's just black. It's a certain sheen, but I'm sure the general contractor could tell you what the exact product and company.
Yeah.
But it
Probably get that. 'Cause, you know, we might paint it someday and then paint it.
well, the stage normally gets painted
Yeah.
at least annually normally. I don't.
In our case, it always got painted before every show. They get paid,
Annually, usually.
No, whenever you paint.
But, or.
Because sometimes people paint the stage with different colors for shows, and then the stage gets painted black again, and over time there ends up being 27,000 layers of
That
paint.
stage wasn't actually this tall. It was all the way to the bottom before all the 100 years of layers of paint.
Oh, it's only this tall because of the paint.
It was pretty squishy. Oh, the lake is there. Goes to the top.
There's all this stuff.
Before then.
Oh, we'll go over it all. It's pretty. That stuff's pretty simple.
The wide array of skills in the tool belt. This is I've already wrote your name down for a few other things. You hold out and start selecting your guitar. You mean your grand
Yeah, that's the thing. He lifted that one down by himself.
That was a small one. So this is the one you want to start with. Whichever one has the cuts out. There's only 2 of them, and when you spin this around, it goes right there in that spot.
Don't forget about us over here. Important info.
So this is A. You can see the letters on the sides. You may want to rewrite these. The person I had helping me, his handwriting wasn't the best. But see, A, B.
Oh, I see.
here.
So A, B, and so it tells you how to orientate it when you start it, and then on the
your
platform, it says A, B, C, D also.
over here.
So you get the
A starts.
ones over there. So there's 19 tops and 7 bottoms.
Okay.
So this one would be the very first one, which we're not going to use. And then there'd be a platform on top of this one, and then there'd be another platform in between the other 2 legs. So you'll see how that works. That's why we're doing 3, because it's 2 legs. And I just got to, huh?
These are numbered already?
Yes, they also have numbers in them too. So the top 3 are the ones we're using. I already set that up. But I didn't pull these out, so I got to grab the right one here. Which one was it? So under here, this says H on this corner.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the one that has H, which is right here. So this is the first frame we're going to need. Can you grab that side?
Yeah.
Pretty heavy. Just walk it all the way back and set it. Let's go all the way down and onto the floor.
So the best way to take it down, walk them downstairs and put them over the top and carry them.
Or if there's more people there, we could just,
Make it
2
down.
people could be down there and we could just hang it over the edge. These are lighter than the platforms. Can just go and open those up.
Now,
Just leave it like that for now. We'll orientate it once I get the pieces out.
and now we can do the H one.
This would be the second one.
Yes.
I thought he was doing the
He's
first.
skipping. He's skipping the first one. Yes, he said. He's skipping.
Are you, so, Brian, does this, are,
What are the 4 letters on there?
F, E, I, and G.
so A, B, C, D would go here.
The very first one.
Right. So then wouldn't this go here?
Yes.
No, there's a gap.
It's like a little bridge.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's actually going to be right here.
It's a big gap. Okay.
Yeah, there's a top, and then there's on top of the platform. There's one on top of this frame. There's one platform,
I got it.
and then there's then the other platform spans in between the 2. Yeah.
Got it.
So you tip the 2 outside, you tip the middle. I think this is I, by the way. Yeah, H is all the way in the middle.
What's the one we put down there?
It's E.
Oh yeah, no, so that's right. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Yeah, so it should be I's next.
I is next.
No, maybe not.
Wait, after.
Because this is, which one are you saying was I over here? Because these are the double letters.
This is I, right?
Yeah, that should be I. K, J. This should be the next one. So A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, then E, F, G, H, and then I, J, K, L. So this should be it. I thought I had numbers on them too for 1 and 2, but that one should have a number 2 on it, and this should have a number 3 on it. Makes it a little easier.
Got it? Spin around.
Okay.
This looks doable. Students can do this.
Oh no! Wait until we get to these.
These are 200 pounds?
About.
We're getting, I think 4 people.
4 is better than 2 for sure, especially when they're this high.
Yeah.
When they're lower, it's easier to pick up.
You have to
Can we get
do
one
this
person
and then switch.
on each corner?
And then how are we going to come up? That
So
way?
we're going to pick it up, and then you guys are going to rotate around that way.
Are we going around the cart?
You're going that way, and we're going here. So we're going to set it straight down.
So
Yep.
like this.
Yep.
These are not being up. These are not being up. They're still
Oh, you can grab anywhere. There's not too many sharp edges. You can grab from the edge. There should be a little edge there. And just go ahead and set it straight down.
Okay. Straight there. You want to take it or not?
Not yet. Just getting them ready. Just watch your feet.
One time up, a long time before that now. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, just go ahead and grab this one and set it down over on. It's going to come over to this side.
Okay.
You can go this way if you want.
So these ones are less.
So this is a smaller one. Go over that way.
How heavy is it, John?
It's not bad.
Go ahead and set it
but
down.
It's not like
So you can do this 4 kids. 4 kids.
4 kids, a lot of smarts, stamina, and muscle.
Smart.
That's the.
Why don't I put 3 of us?
No, you know what? It's doable. Yeah. They just need to like. I would say you're just a little bit too. And only 4 kids. The weight of it, and you get the kid hurt. Real world education, right? Yeah, exactly. You want a dog? Here you go. No, stop. I'm thinking start up the hill. Yeah, what you'll be doing because you're
Whiteboard training and never heard. I wrote to Liz and Carol. I said, stay there. Patch multi-parameter fixture, soft key display, color pick. I don't know if any of those are.
I got about 6 of them. Yeah.
And they were coming so fast.
I'm guessing, let me guess right.
Yeah, you can put one of those on each corner.
Support to the extra beam going across.
Yep. I got to orientate the thing still, but
What's happening here?
just go ahead and fill.
Where's the single?
The singles go on the silver ones.
Comes out. You start to come out of it.
No,
These are what holds. No, this is what holds going across the.
yeah, you can go
No,
ahead.
but the pin comes out before it can go in.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can just leave the pins out because we're not going to worry about that part for now. You can just leave. You don't need them.
Each one of these goes on.
And then orient.
Well, the frames aren't orientated right, so we
So it obviously goes like this. So when you put this in here, and then one platform will go on these. And then where's this?
numbers on there.
Oh, got it.
That's fine. Don't worry. Don't adjust those.
Don't adjust the bottom.
Don't adjust those because they're adjusted for the spot of concrete that they sit on.
Okay, got it.
So you don't want to adjust those where they are
get
because
into
they're
place.
not in the right spot.
Okay, that's gotcha. That's a really good idea. 'Cause the first thing one of us knuckleheads would do is be like, let's go fix it.
Now, if someone does change something, you're going to have to go through and re-level the whole piece.
Don't change.
And so the front edge we leveled with the laser. The back edge gets leveled with the stage.
Right.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So frame 1 goes here, and A is in that corner. So A, B, C, D. So then it would go E is in this corner.
Gee, that says E.
E. So it orientates this way.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Out.
Yep.
I think we should print out a piece of paper that shows the grid of letters.
That'll be provided.
Yep.
I should have brought it with me. I had a handwritten one, but I turned it in so they could type it into a digital one.
Yeah, I think that'll be really helpful.
It was
S, G, H, so then I. Right?
Correct.
D, then D would be back here, Jeff?
So
D
this
is here,
guy goes in there.
next to E?
On the other frame, 4
Right,
feet
yes,
apart.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm asking, would D be here or
Yeah,
would
so
D be here?
A, B, C, D.
D would be here.
I think that's how we did it. And that's the way it's working out so far.
Okay.
So in all the frames, the U shape goes this way, except for the last one.
And then it would go that way.
It comes the other way.
Okay. Makes sense.
And that's the one that's up against the back wall that'll be provided later. It's on order. The one that's here wasn't made correctly by the... all of them except for the last one, number 7.
This might be a dumb question, but, and this is also an aesthetic question, but is it possible as soon as we spot these things where they go to just do a spray paint on the floor so we know?
I was told I can't do that because this is your finished floor.
That's why.
So when you
I
when you remove this, you're going to have spray paint marks all over the
can we
place.
just dot it and do we care?
Normally when we do this, it's in a pit.
Yeah.
And yes, we do that because no one goes into the pit except for the band.
Why don't
But
we just
in this situation, the audience is going to see.
spray, it would just look like little shiny dots. That wouldn't
Well,
look...
we could also do spike, we could spike tape it, and then at the end of the year, they can pull it up if they don't like it, you know.
I would use a little, like a red, dots you get, the tape dots.
Yeah.
Put those down. That way, if you decide you don't like it, you got stuff. I wouldn't do red. I'd do something more blends in.
Well, we have all kinds of different colors.
But
Spike
that,
tape
you
and
can
nails
get dots to go around. That way, you don't like it. You guys look at it,
Yeah.
you like it, then you can do permanent.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Let's go ahead and grab this side, and we're going to swing this out and set it on top of this frame.
and it goes on just...
So that side's going to go to this corner, and this side's going to go over here. Okay? Bring that towards you. And then rotate.
Behind, so you have to walk over there and help them.
There's one more person in the corner over there would be good.
Okay.
Sure.
I see. And then that corner,
And I think I got the wrong one. Okay, set it back up there. No, hold on a second. Can you hold it? Yeah, that's the wrong one. Just set it back up on the stage.
where, it says E.
That's for the, these numbers are for the skirt, which we'll go over,
okay.
the hard skirt that goes in the front.
And so
This is-
where's the number for this one?
Underneath.
Okay. And this number is what?
The groove, the corner.
It's not on there. Might be on the other side. Oh, number 4. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
They stamped it.
Okay.
It's spray painted on the middle, which I can't see right now.
And then it's the little one right there. Okay.
And they stamped it, but they didn't stamp the frames. So it'd be good to, once we set it up, you can write some numbers on there. These numbers can come off. These were,
That will not be confusing.
well, these are just measuring, trying to figure out which frame was what, because they,
Would you like me to grab some tape, Marjorie, or something? So as long as we have one section, at least we know. Would that? Okay, let's do that so we can.
You want the...
can you look at the bottom of that platform and tell me what the number is?
This was X.
No, not the I need the number.
Or there's a
Is it
X right there.
It might be stamped right there.
5.
5. Okay, so 4 or 5. And then what's the number of the one that's right above you there? The first one?
That's something you want to do, I've got something. That's a great idea. That won't show and won't look for.
I must have the wrong frame. So this one probably goes here.
This is the second,
Second frame.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
So this one here spans these two, is what I'm.
Yeah.
what it is.
this
Yeah.
does go right here.
Yeah, this is the middle.
And now these go like this, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we can have 2 people on the back of this when I pull it out, and then 2 people on the frames. I'll do the frames then. Just come on out, and then I'm going to adjust the frame.
Grab the front, somebody. Grab that corner.
Grab the front of that. Okay, and come over this way. Match up that corner there.
This way.
And just hold it upright. Let me move the frames around. And it goes inside that pocket there. Okay, go and go up. Down. This one float. Okay, go and go down on yours. Down. Okay, go and go down.
Oh, it slides into
Yeah, this one doesn't have a pocket.
Should they have a
No, you want to
pocket?
slide it tight.
Some of them have pockets, and some are free floating.
Okay.
Now you want to tighten this one
then you
up.
pin it, right?
Don't worry about the pins until you're all the way done.
Yeah.
You want to tighten that up now?
Yeah.
Push it in, push it in.
Oh my God, we gotta smash them.
Hold it hard. Pull that bar down.
Might want to grab that piece of tape out of there.
That's a paint touch-up paint.
Oh, leave that then.
And it's free floating, so you
No,
can
Right.
wriggle this.
To get the angles just right for the next platform. And these are generally always.
It'll be about half the time. Are they all inset so you can put your hands here without danger? Or
Yes.
are some of them? Okay, so we can.
Oh yeah. It's just when you pick them up there, when you try to set them on the stage, then you have to try to get your hands out.
Right.
If you pick them up here, then you don't have to worry about your hands.
My question is it better to put all the centerpiece in before you set the middle one?
It's
The middle one's preset.
the beginning part of it's always going to be the hardest, setting up the first couple platforms, and then it gets really easy after that.
Well, I'm just thinking because this moves. If you set this one up, at least you can move this without having this one stuck on something. And then these are easy to drop down because they're going to go right down perfectly.
But it's easier to go, once you get this first one up, it's easier, the next one you'd want to do is this one and then this one. And then from here, you work your way that way.
So this one's
Make
the
sure,
first
because this
one.
is the number 4.
Oh,
It's
okay.
already the piece of green tape that says number 4.
And number 4 is the
But this isn't labeled, this is what needs to get labeled.
Okay.
So,
second frame. This side faces downstage.
okay, and you might want to put these on the back so the audience doesn't see the.
Doesn't the skirt go over it?
Yes, but you're going to see through the skirt. The skirt has holes in it.
Okay, got it. And this is platform 4?
Platform 4.
Okay.
And they're going to see that. That's,
Oh, all right.
and it's already labeled 4. And it's labeled on the bottom as 4.
Okay. All right.
It's, if you look underneath, it's spray painted.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it for now. We can
So is that number 5 right there?
That's fine.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab that one. And you can tell what's the front edge, because this one's kind of hard. The piece that has the rubber on it is always the front edge. That just has bare wood. Okay?
Okay, guys. Watch out. Now come.
Another
You
person.
can walk from
You can walk on that.
I'll get to this side and return back. I got this. I got it. You want to help him up the front? There you go.
Okay, now
I got to move my
just get your fingers out of there. There we go.
Okay, it's gotta come this way.
Does this go out, Jeff?
Yep. No, yeah, you shouldn't need to move that. They need to move. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Set that one
Right there. Go ahead and pull it your way,
How
toward
do
you.
you lift it? Now, how do you lift that over that side?
Lift, you go underneath.
There, sit that one first.
And pull the leg to where it needs to go.
Again, I got problems. Or
You can set your end down.
I'm in down. I think
Okay. Okay. Just leave it. Leave it. Okay, just go ahead and leave it. Come on out. So these screw pins sometimes are tight. And then this is a... Okay, you ready for the technical part?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's that part?
And just step on that.
Oh wow, they're really tight.
Stand on that edge there. Bounce on it.
Not down yet.
Yeah, it's down. So
Flat.
it looks like the threads moved.
The part where you just pound it.
So this is where it needs to get, actually,
Mallet? We got a rubber mallet.
so my boss came out with a hammer and started pounding on it. And he's like, oh, that's how you do it. I'm like,
Okay.
okay.
Hammer. Get a sledgehammer and start busting it. I'll fix it.
So before you move on to the next one, you want to look at this gap. So see how this is sticking out right here?
Yeah, it's not. There's a big.
Right.
Oh, right.
these are in the right spot. All right, 4,
What
5.
about gaps at the front of the stage here? Is that just gonna happen? Like,
No, it should all close up. And then is that wrench over there still?
it's that way.
I locked it.
Oh, okay. I see. So that's what those little
Yeah, the holes.
are. Right, got it.
And some of them are just like that because that's the way they built them. There's no,
It's not perfect.
no, it's not perfect by any means.
To like,
It's pretty awesome. So it's more perfect than anything we ever had. Remember, John?
I've
With
been
the
on
creaky
some
old
silly trucks.
those creak planes.
This back cut is pretty tight. I used a router. I cut this. I used a router to cut this. So that's pretty much how it is. Yeah.
Within an eighth inch or so.
Our rule is a quarter because of high heels of women's shoes. It has to be a quarter inch or less is what our
So that gap's not going, that gap's less than a quarter.
we'll probably.
But see how the altitude has changed?
Yeah.
That's because the screw pins don't have a lock on them. So if you go through and label them and if you mark on the floor like you were saying, and then if you do Loctite on those things, then they would stay where you put them. But right now they're going to all need to be adjusted with a wrench.
Adjust them to level this up a little bit down, get it right
Correct.
where you want it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you'd use a wrench underneath and adjust it and have someone up here and going up, down, and adjust this corner to get this seam right here up. Okay? So this is coffin lock together. You'd probably want to level this out before you move on to the next one, or you can wait until the end and then level all of them out. So it depends on how you want to do that. Can I see one of those?
Probably when we first do it, we want to
Both of those pieces, yep, all three of them, and one of the silver things.
Now's when you make sense. So like down there, you go down there and then.
Okay, this piece and this has to get put in also, and it's on that corner back there. So if you guys want to crawl underneath here, so it goes, one goes there, and one goes here. Okay? Which we're not going to put them in. We're just going to show you where they are.
I mean, I know you're not going to put them in, but do they go in pretty easily, or do you have to lift up and...
Probably going to have to lift the platform up.
I was gonna say, should we do that before we coffin lock the top together?
You can.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on putting them in. I was just going to point them out to you.
Right, and this is just because we have the wonky corner here.
Yes, correct.
The support for the corner.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Well, we're just putting this up right now, right?
Apparently,
This is as far as we're going.
Tim says that they have to finish the front of the stage up.
You gotta finish the auditorium, once they're finished, they give it to us.
Oh, this is as much as we're doing today.
Yeah, just so we know how to do it.
Yeah, we're just doing we're just doing this one corner, and we're almost done.
And
I'm
then
just
you
going to,
basically just keep going. Same.
and it's all the same, both directions.
You're going to show us how to put the mesh on the front, too, right?
We can go grab some. That's really simple. Can you hand me that silver thing there?
Day, like a Saturday or something come in, we'll just set this whole thing up.
Okay, so this piece,
We want the kids to learn how to do that.
We'll set it up, mark on the flooring, make sure it's level, mark.
come on over here.
Well, I think we can...
So you can put these on at the end, or you can put these on as you go. It's probably better to put it on at the end. Have someone crawl underneath and put it on at the end. But these are just capture devices, and they only go where these holes are at. 'Cause
Oh, I see.
it's not going to work otherwise. And there's
They're one
6 of them.
Each, there's 6.
No, they're not on every frame. It wasn't required.
Right.
So they just go on here, and it captures the leg, and then you just thread it in.
That keeps it...
Yeah.
So once you get say 3 turns, okay, now the piece of all thread's not going anywhere. Then you would tighten this up. And you probably want a hammer when you do this. Okay, and then tighten this bolt.
Okay. Totally.
You get the bolts so you get the nuts so they're close, and then tighten it down, and then that's it. It just keeps it from moving away from the wall.
So it doesn't have to be like flush and tight.
No one's going to see this. This is just a seismic thing, and then 3 turns on the all thread is all you need. There's really only about that much threads in there, so 3 turns is more than enough for. And if you went through and labeled these, you wouldn't have to adjust the nuts as much because I already had them set up at one time. But if you say this is number 2 and this is number 2, you always put it back there. Then the nut distance would be, because some of them are really far away.
Yeah, got it.
Not as far as I thought it was.
So once we get it all up, we'll labeling everything.
And I tried to label stuff and then I ran out of time, and the he did cross outs, which I didn't like, and I didn't see any of that until after we took it down. But
We'll probably want to label it in our own
I think
language
so.
anyway,
Yeah.
that we all, the class understands.
and you'll get a blueprint that you could print out,
Yeah.
and then you could write stuff on there, and it'll be a PDF, so you might be able to change stuff.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
Okay. Any other questions about this?
Probably 4.
Are we going to put this other section on or no?
No, I didn't pull out the right
Could you show
platforms.
us- I know it's easy, but could you just show us putting on the mesh on this
Oh,
section?
yep. Let me go grab one.
And then when do we pin it? Once it's all done?
It would be better once it's all done. You're going to have to go under there, and once there's a lot of weight on here, you'd have to take a hammer and bump these around and line up the holes and then pin it. But if the hole's lined up, you can go ahead and pin it
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say like so we can do it as we go.
if you want to. Yep. I was just trying to go through quick.
Okay.
So the mesh, the mesh that came with this system is the same kind of screening you have out in the hallway. So they matched the rest of the school.
Question for you. You keep saying hammer. Would you rather use a mallet so you don't damage the product, or a hammer?
Whatever works for you. We used hammers.
And hammers didn't dent the surface?
You're not hitting the top. You're hitting the metal.
Ow. I'd still rather a mallet, but then
You might have to hit it more often because, metal doesn't move when rubber hits it. It just bounces away. And these are, if you're just tapping it with a hammer, it's not going to damage them. So these letters up here only refer to the mesh. The mesh has the same letter. So we need to go find E and F.
You want to do this?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me, I got to move the cyc out of the way. I'm playing with the curtains.
Everything just lives in this car.
Like I was saying, the skirting,
Yeah, are these for, Jeff?
those are the bolts for the skirt.
Oh,
Two,
okay.
two per.
Okay, got it.
Let me move the cyc.
Which one? E and F?
E and F. And the labeling's on the back. I'm coming. I'm coming. And then could you grab 4 of those bolts for me?
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, we could just do this part and then leave it. If you want.
Hand that down to you.
Yeah, do you have an Allen wrench with this stuff that fits this?
No, that's not something we normally provide. The coffin lock key, 2 of those are provided.
Okay.
But as far as the Allen wrenches for this kind of stuff, we don't provide, unfortunately. So these are pretty simple.
So my suggestion, guys, is you need to get your hammer, you want tools. You should have a place to store them.
We have a beautiful tool chest that Jamie got for us that we need to put in the scene shop, but we have to talk to Jamie Zarler about all that first.
So I said, you have certain tools for this, you can say what this.
Yeah, no, our tool chest is going to be in the scene shop or backstage. That's where it has to be.
The coffin lock keys, I would recommend putting them someplace more secure because they do walk away.
Okay.
They don't really have much of a use anywhere else, but. All right, so these, they have the letter there, and then they have the letter on the inside. It's pretty simple. You just, yeah, just a through bolt. And it's probably a two-person job. You're going to want one person underneath. And some of them barely have any threads on the back end. Can you feel it? Because it's going through two pieces of aluminum. You got to get the bolt all the way through.
You get the very last one on.
Here, this is one that doesn't have a...
Are there sides?
Yeah.
Just because if you have to have someone on the inside holding it, how do you get the very last one?
How did we do that?
Yeah, but how do you get out then? You're trapped.
Stay in?
Yeah, I don't think we put the last one on.
Somebody has to stay in.
Yeah, someone has to live under there.
I mean, that's so like literally
Yeah,
you can't put
Mike Mulligan's steam
This is
shovel,
me
man.
going exactly. I always think like that.
We didn't go that far. So when I put these on, I originally wanted to drill them and tap them, so you'd thread them on from the outside. But my boss didn't want me to do that. So this is what we were provided.
Nice, though.
You can ask those questions to the general contractor, and they can come up with a solution. They'll last Stagecraft, as far as that goes.
Okay? Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, it's not through the second piece yet, but that's all right. I got it.
We could just have
Yeah.
like the
Oh, right.
last one on the
So-
far side.
I can think of a couple of kids that I would put under there.
Most of the time on this type of a system, the front is a curtain, is a soft instead of hard.
We can do a little curtain hatch at the back and one side.
Or on the side.
Now there is one side. I can show you.
Well, we don't put mesh on these sides, so they can just crawl out.
No, on this side though.
No, but we're not going all the way that way.
So if you never go all the way, you're always going to have the end open.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So this is actually, we can't go to the corner. We have to go,
You have to go there.
we have to go here.
Yeah.
Actually, let me take the next piece.
And it's a short one,
It just fits here.
right on top of the frame. Yep,
It doesn't extend out to another bridge.
that would be another piece.
Okay.
No, because it goes right here.
Oh,
The next frame would be over here, and it's actually really wide. This one here is 4 feet by 4 feet. It's a weird little square. And then this one, they get smaller as they go this way.
I mean, I think I possibly could store it here, right?
Every.
You're talking about starting there on that one. You'd want to put a mark, like,
I think.
or measure it.
You know, we'd have to.
Yeah, we probably would. I mean, it's less sexy, but we could.
Yeah, yeah.
In that case, you'd want to start in the center of the stage and work both ways.
Out.
And it's not going to matter too much if you're off a little bit because of the way the curve is.
No.
You just want to make sure you use the correct pieces.
But then also, as we could just put this one on, and then like for a musical or something, and then leave the middle part open for a pit, and then you've got two thrusts out. Okay, this is cool.
Yep, yep.
And
so,
I thought Jessica said she was like, it comes all the way to the seats. I'm like, oh, this is yeah.
right.
It's 8 foot and a half an inch from the. If you take a tape measure, it's 8 foot and a half an inch from the edge of the stage in the center.
yeah.
I only had three numbers to go off of. The center.
It doesn't go out. You don't want to. You don't want to have to sit here probably.
No, no.
Front row, this row.
I don't know. I mean, like,
But those are okay.
well, it's gonna be right here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Brand's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if somebody was
I know we have to somebody. They
The curve,
You're right, John. I
the
think
arc,
that's for the pit.
the arc of the front of the
That could be really fun.
the arc of the front is a little different than this arc
Right.
because of the way these bump outs are. Just so you're aware, you can't go off of that.
8 feet.
And a half an inch.
So right here.
Right here. There's a.
Wait, no, 8 feet and
Half an inch.
And, so right here.
Yes.
So right there. So it's basically right here. So yeah, you still have a front one. Okay. This is not as cumbersome and like gargantuan as we were kind of.
No, and I think
Once we learn how to do it, we'll be fine.
Well, so we really only we put it up. It comes down after your show.
So here's
Then it's down until the dance show.
So here-
We probably have to switch this once a year.
here's what the ends look like. So that's a guy with a high vis shirt. You can see through the mesh, but the mesh is on there. But that's what the edge looks like in the gap. That's with all the screening on it. I guess we were taking it apart as we were going over, so that's why there was no.
Very cool.
We never did lock ourselves in there.
With these mesh pieces,
You can put
you can
the
light
speakers
underneath.
Yeah.
you can light underneath it, and then the whole front of the stage could blast
Right.
lights.
And they
That
can
would
do
be
their big,
so
if you
cool.
want to put that big thing under the stage.
It's not me. I don't need.
I'm sorry, that's Forrest, I guess.
You know who that is?
You get a rainbow effect.
No.
Yeah.
Who is it?
So you're like, oh,
Who's
that'd be very
missing
cool.
right now?
I like okay.
It's gonna be
She
great.
loves.
Feels better once you see it.
Once you
feels
see
better.
it and realize it's not that hard to put up,
They didn't
it's just
solve
storage. It's the storage issue.
Putting it up is just, it's labor intensive. I mean, we got the beginning's always going to be the hardest.
Yeah.
And then you just keep building as you go, making sure you get the right frame, because the frames are not interchangeable at all.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
7 frames and they have to go where they go.
Yeah.
Because they won't match up with the pockets underneath.
And you're going to give me a PDF so that I know like which number is center?
It'll go through the general contractor. They'll give it all to you.
And so you're going to give us a PDF or a blueprint with this so I know which number goes in the center so we want to start.
Absolutely. Anything in the building will all be uploaded to a system called eBuilder, and that they turn that over to PPF. So we'll have access to all of it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that still doesn't get
I know.
to me. I got to figure out how to do it.
I will get you exactly how that gets to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, is
All
that
right,
it?
one more thing. Underneath here, there's screw pins. They're silver.
Yeah.
And when as you put it together, you want to tighten those up.
Okay.
But you want to make sure you don't want to do it as you go.
first.
You don't want to do it as you go because it'll stop this from moving.
Finishing work that you do underneath.
It would be better if you did it at the
Then you
end.
put the
Otherwise,
mesh.
you'll lock it up and then it will be harder to adjust.
Yes.
Get it adjusted, get the gap right, then go through and lock it to the floor. So you have your anchors here.
Right.
So,
So get the whole thing up, then lock it to the stage, then go under.
and then if you're not going to do this corner piece and you're going to start here or there, you need to make sure it's adjusted right so the pins match up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time, harder than I did over there with getting the seismic bracing in.
Okay.
So, and once you get 3 pieces up, it's really hard to move because you're talking 600 pounds with 3 pieces. So when you get all 19 of them up, you're talking 1,500 pounds.
So there's 19 platforms.
19
7
platforms.
frames.
Yes.
All right. Are we going to learn about the acoustic shells now too?
Yep. We just gotta let's put this away and then we'll move on to the next step and
These and this one up.
we take the bolt out of this one here. Don't want to lose the bolts.
No.
Those were actually, we had to order those custom for this. I don't know why they couldn't find bolts.
Wait.
I'll just carry this one. If you want to carry that one.
Yeah, we just
I'm just going to go up the stairs. And like I was saying, that the other cart over here, the other accessory cart's kind of empty. If you modified it so these skirts could go on there.
Which accessory part?
So you got this accessory cart, and then there's another one over there.
Okay.
And the other one is virtually empty. If you
Figure out some way to
if you wanted to modify it so that these things could go onto it. Because right now, there's no place to put these, and they're just leaning up against the wall.
Right, okay.
They don't fit onto the cart. And I don't want to stack them. I don't want to stack them flat on there because then they'll get all scratched up.
Sure, got
So if you had some sort of all thread sticking out where you could slide these on and do it that way, or
I was looking to take this. Are you gonna need help? Yeah, this is
all right, you want me to show you how I do it?
Yeah, how do you put someone in there and slip back?
I sit down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to lift with your head either. That would hurt you after a while.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And you need to lift it straight up.
Can we get someone on stage?
Straight up. Both sides at the same time. That push down on the other one. There it goes.
Got it. And then Brandon, you want to grab? Okay.
What are you walking?
Don't drop.
You want these put away now?
Yeah, they can go up on top. So when you pick these up, if you pick this side up, it's going to bind on here. So you got to pick it up at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it doesn't bind on the way the aluminum is sticky. If you're not familiar with metals, much more so than metal, steel. Steel's pretty slippery, but
Yeah.
aluminum likes to stick together.
Okay. Is A and B kind of underneath there now, or
What do you mean?
the platform?
They're on the other cart.
They're on the other part.
Yeah, they're not in any kind of order at the moment.
I'll let you guys pick it up to us.
We're gonna need 4 people, 1 for up here.
I got this side. Walk it.
Still don't see the numbers underneath there.
Right there, 4.
Oh, now I do. Yeah.
We'll need one more person on the back
Yeah.
in a second.
Okay, John, you want to grab this? Yep. That's feeling fine.
Hold on 1 second. We need to put some cardboard on there. Go ahead and just set the edge on there and grab the cardboard.
They added absorption material
I know.
below. That's smart.
That's really nice.
to cut down on the resin.
Oh, that, yeah.
On to like stomp, boom, boom, boom.
That's pretty normal for all of these kind of things.
We gotta carry it out.
Yeah, try not to slide them.
I need to come further this way, though. I can't really. There we go.
You have a hoist up here? Get up here. Yes. Little cherry picker maybe? You got a hold of it?
Imagine how tired you'd be after doing 19 of them. So normally, well, I'm not going to say normally, but in other spaces, these carts are down here.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But there's no way to get the carts up there if they're loaded. And there's no other place to put the carts when they're down here. So that's why they're up there.
The storage issue is just something we're going to have to figure out.
Okay, we can pull all these off.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's
Just-
where you need to hammer a little bit sometimes.
wiggle.
Just wiggle it.
It's the paint. Eventually that paint will,
Yeah.
it'll.
And so it's important that all this stuff too stays in that cart, obviously.
Yeah,
I gotta grab that.
yep. You don't have any extra pieces.
Yep.
Got it? Just balance it for a second. Okay.
This one you want next?
The next one. That one there, and then we'll put that last.
Is that right?
Yep, that's fine. Just kind of stagger them so they. And then these are W'd right now, but they need to be opened up into a U, and they just don't stack right when you do it that way. Keep it that side. Feeling weak these days. All right. So just something to be aware of when you're pushing the carts around. You don't want to get any kind of momentum. Well, yes, and you won't be able to stop it in time, and the walls are not concrete, so you'll go through the wall.
Okay.
It has enough weight to there. I mean, there's metal studs behind there.
Why is that frame?
That one I'm taking it back. It has to be remade.
Got it. And